Morning, welcome back. Another year, another season of newly wedded couples posting on Facebook have flown by once again. As expected, the drama did not disappoint. As scientists say, according to scientists, weddings are the ideal environment for main character syndrome to really thrive. Even people who aren't getting married will act like they'll pass away if the attention isn't on them for 1 second. Before social media, we would only hear about the mess through word of mouth. Now we can witness the crazy in real time, like an episode of Say Yes to the Dress, set in a UFC fighting ring. I still stand by my tier list of the top 3 most stress-inducing scenarios. Going through airport security, being third in the checkout line while your mom runs off to grab one last thing and forces you to wait there, and last but not least, the entire process of a wedding. It's similar to content creation in a sense. There's a lot of work behind the scenes you don't get to see. What, you think I just wave my hands and plop something in front of you and we mangiamo like an Italian family dinner? There's at least a 4 to 7 day spiraling period of me wondering, who the heck is gonna watch this? The world isn't a, I now pronounce you, ugly and stinky speedrun in Vegas. Planning, being stressed while running on pure fear and adrenaline are key components of any wedding party. Wedding drama is so niche, it's its own subgenre on Reddit threads. Am I the asshole for bringing an uninvited guest to a destination wedding? Am I the asshole for ordering pizza at my friend's wedding because there was no food? Am I the asshole for threatening to call off my wedding after my fiance slapped me? Am I the asshole for not wearing a bra to my friend's wedding? Am I the asshole for banning my 5-year-old sister from my wedding unless she gets therapy before the wedding? Wow, who would have thought that forcing 2 giant groups of people to interact would cause personalities to clash? Like that classic love story, Romeo and Juliet. You could literally cut the tension between those 2 families with a knife made out of poison. Although they were teenagers and everything escalated in like 3 days, but you get the idea. And this wedding story has suddenly gone viral, where the main culprit isn't the bride, groom, or anyone in the immediate family. It all started when a wedding makeup artist called The Key Look posted a POV of herself, getting kicked out of a wedding she worked on in a classic 3-part trilogy. There's actually a prequel before the main lore. On September 5th, The Key Look found out her boyfriend was cheating on her. Then she had to work at a wedding the day after on September 6th, but couldn't hold it together and ended up crying in front of everyone. Talk about awkward. There's. It'll be okay. Is she gonna leave yet? But on September 7th, she decided, you know what? Even though I'm sad, I still have a job to do. I'm going to surpass my limitations as a makeup artist and exceed everyone's expectations. Which she did in a, why is this stranger that we hired in like 90% of our camera roll type of way? I will say, showing up to work when your life is literally falling apart is pretty respectable. I'm assuming you can't really call in sick or reschedule for an event like this unless you want to be blacklisted from the wedding industry with a 1-star Yelp review. It's not a shift at Burger King, but maybe she should have given it the old I'm sick. Her business relies a lot on her social media presence, since she needs to showcase the makeup she's done. Makes sense, she is a very talented makeup artist. She also includes a lot of her personality in her content to really show how fun she is.
You can probably tell already that I don't take myself that serious. I enjoy making my brides laugh and having good times with my bridesmaids. I'm also never gonna turn down an invite to a wedding. Might be on the dance floor too. Oh yeah, and I'm good for something like this. And this. And I'm definitely going to do this at your wedding. But I just wanted to stop by and introduce myself to all of the new faces. Okay, that's fair. There is an audience that would appreciate the energy and volume she brings. It might not be the most professional type of behavior, but you can check her socials before deciding to hire her. Takes 2 to tango, you gotta do your due diligence too. She's very clear about what type of vibe she brings to the party. You're not getting a regular old makeup artist, but a new BFF, as you can see in these TikToks and pictures. Especially in this picture, who exactly is the bride here? In this particular wedding, they agreed to let her film content for her socials. The bride did mention that the groom wasn't a fan of TikToks, which should have been one of the first warning signs to be mindful when filming things. You'd think the content she'd be making would be classic beauty guru type stuff, like a before and after, or at most some kind of dance challenge with the wedding party and bride. Fun simple things to do when getting a large group of women camera ready. But judging by where she was filming and how close she was to really intimate moments, you'd think she was the mom, her best friend of 20 years, or Amy Poehler as a mom in Mean Girls. It's really unfortunate too, because the bride and groom wanted an unplugged wedding, which means guests were expected to not use their phones too often so they can enjoy the present moment. The Key Look posted all of the footage she filmed with the narrative of getting kicked out for no reason before the bride and groom could even share their pictures. Is she
standing in the middle of the wedding aisle. There's so many places to stand here. Why in the middle of the bride and groom's walkway? Even the photographers, who should be right up where the action is, are behind her, which means she's probably in a lot of these shots. I hope her phone is on the permanent 10x zoom setting. Every time we see her, she's at least 5 feet away from the bride at all times. And look, there is not a single soul on their phone right now. Ah, the good old days, not a phone in sight. There's a skill called reading the room, which isn't as common as you'd think. During the first look, when the bridesmaids and family are supposed to see the bride in her wedding dress for the first time, guess who popped out of nowhere with a "Here's Johnny!" iPhone in hand with a new self-appointed job as head security. Kiana was getting ready to do her first look. People were trying to disrupt, and I was being top flight security, making sure my bride's first look photos weren't ruined by strangers.
Don't try me.
Oh, I think there's an imposter here. And it isn't that white Among Us looking door. Even the photographers, once again, who need to get up close and personal, are at a respectable arm's length. This isn't just close up and personal anymore. Key look is literally up personal and personal. At one point she mentions that she's turned into a photographer, making sure to catch everything that they were missing. Not only is she inserting herself into a wedding, but also other people's jobs. What exactly is she gonna catch with her iPhone? A cracked screen? Hey, I'm walking here. Well, if New Jeans can film an entire music video on an iPhone, I guess, but do we really need shots of you giving a bridesmaid a hug? It was during the hair and makeup portion of her job, when the key look decided that since everyone's having a great time because of her, she's gonna stay during the entire wedding and go above and beyond for her bride.
This was like the only thing I was like, I can wear a bathrobe. You'll wake up eventually. Yeah.
She also keeps calling the bride her bride, like she's the main character, and this is her best friend since high school.
You're the star of the show. Nothing's going on without you.
Here, thanks for nothing.
No.
And me too, though.
Yeah.
Like I'm a part of that.
Everybody's on
We
your
are
side.
like one.
Yeah, exactly.
Where she go, I go, she go.
A package deal. I just know that Joey was already made.
It's very, and everyone stood up and clapped energy. How are you assuming the main character position at a wedding you kind of strong-armed yourself into? Someone said hiring her is like ordering DoorDash, and the driver insisting on steak for dinner as well. That's crazy. In every situation, there's always two perspectives. From her side, yeah, she came with a lot of baggage and personal problems. But based on what she shared, I don't think she meant any harm. To a degree, her actions did mess up like a majority of this wedding. Overall, she seems pleasant and overly friendly, which are good traits to have if you're working a customer service job. You can always dial things down if you notice you're going overboard with the pleasantries. But like I said, her unprofessionalism caused a lot of stress for the bride and groom, who are already stressed. Could she have misread signals from the wedding party saying they wanted her to stay? They were probably just being nice. Even if they were annoyed at her, most people will avoid conflict if they can. You really think the bride was gonna be rude to someone who was doing her makeup on her wedding day? The day of her wedding? Of the wedding she's a part of? It's like being rude to the chef cooking your food. I don't want spit foundation and fart blush on my face. We want a pink smoky eye, not actual pink eye. They gave her a mile by being nice to her, and she ran a marathon, pushing the line to see how far she could go. I believe the key look left at one point, but then decided to come back to the reception to film more content. After getting the entire wedding party to film TikToks while being in places she wasn't supposed to be, the groom finally had enough.
Hey, Melissa. Please don't get in my video.
The wedding planner told her to leave. Even the groomsmen mentioned, "Wow, you look tired."
I was like, you know what? My bride doesn't want me to leave. I was like, I might as well just stay. So I went back. Before I walked in there, I was like, you know what? Go back, get what you need. You are stronger than that. Don't let nobody break you down.
In the span of 3 days, 2 weddings that took months to plan got overshadowed by drama. At the end of the day, we don't know the full story since we weren't there. I would have liked to give her the benefit of the doubt and chalk it up to miscommunication. But after seeing her tease another 3-part series of her side of the story, story, even after the bride commented on social media that she just wanted to move on. Maybe this is a pattern of behavior for this lady, and she needs a new job. It's a sad situation for all parties. I felt bad, and then it just kept getting worse. That's like the gist of the scenario. If you want a deep dive, there's a whole bunch of content on TikTok recapping the whole situation with extra details. But man, the secondhand embarrassment was a hard watch. Like someone that thinks they're killing it when they start public speaking, when in reality, they're actually killing the vibe in this Chili's. Speeches are an important part of wedding culture. A family member or close friend will get in front of the podium and drop some interesting lore about the couple, and suddenly we've gone from classy formal event to the bar is open and is that high school dance music I hear? The party hasn't started until you've seen at least 5 drunk aunties on the dance floor and 4 drunk uncles napping in their chairs, which sounds great. Damn me. When giving a speech, the vibes are really important. No need to be a Conan O'Brien or anything. Just be sort of memorable, give the crowd some tasteful laughs, lighten up the mood, and get the heck out of there. Unfortunately, people are showing up with the wrong concept in mind, because they're treating wedding speeches as an open mic night in Chicago.
I'm not gonna be racist, you guys. But you guys, I swear, I love black people.
That's like one of the top 10 phrases racist people will usually say, but let's hear her out.
I've known Tracy for, oh god, I think so. So I don't quite know Anthony that well, but Tracy talked about you like nonstop. Seriously. And she'd be like, oh, you can do that. I'm like, I don't care. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys are so cute together. Till death do us part, Anthony. Seriously. You better take care of my girl. Because if you don't, I know where you live. Of course, you guys are going to get the like interracial couples. I'm like, no, seriously. You guys are outstepping the stereotype, and I love it. But you guys, I swear, I love black people because you guys are the best. Like,
anyone got one of those giant cartoon canes to quickly... Every sentence had me on the edge of my seat, with heart palpitations. I had no idea if we were going political or comedian bombing in real time. That's why dress rehearsals and background screenings are important. Who are you? What are you going to do? And why? Don't you have a script? All it takes is a 1-minute viral moment to mess up months of planning. Winging it at a wedding is like your surgeon doing improv at your open heart surgery. You know, after taking 2 classes, I really feel like I have a future in improv. My mind just works really fast. You said diving in the ocean for a topic, right? No, doctor. I said the patient is dying. You have to help him. Help him. Well... I've got a gun. Grooms! What about the grooms? You'd think on one of the most expensive days of your life, your future husband would put some effort into his vows that are gonna be read in front of your family, friends, and soon-to-be in-laws.
I promise to smack ass every chance I get. That's all I got.
Is that it? Come on, Cody. Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going with.
Cool.
We've made it this long.
Hey, come on, this guy stinks. At least he made one person laugh. I hate to say it, but even a Reddit moderator's voicemail to his princess is more romantic compared to this guy. Hello, princess. Pick up the call, princess. Out of all my ladies, I like you the most. What do we? M'lady. Okay, well at least this groom put some effort into writing out his vows that are more than just a few sentences. Even if it's not Shakespeare material, something is better than nothing, right?
Since the day we started talking, after falling through my bedroom window, within minutes I could tell you were the one for me. Then as time went on and I was falling deeper in love with you, I was and always will be one of the easiest people to please. Only 2 things are required to keep me happy, keep my belly full and my balls empty. Though you're amazing at half of it, we really need to get you some cooking lessons.
Thought this was a classy party, but I guess not. I don't know everyone's dynamic here. Maybe the bride and audience like the speech. I mean, it's not like they really have a choice other than to smile and nod, unless they don't mind being served nothing for dinner. But in the wise words of Tati Westbrook,
oh my god, time and place.
Especially with the balls. Why don't we all relax? Come, sit, let's eat some expensive cake that took hours to make. Oh, wait a minute. The people cosplaying as bride and groom UFC fighters are back. If you've ever gone through a wedding and made it out in one piece, give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. It's important to surround yourself with yes men and friends that hype you up. But we also need friends that can also say, no, bad, stop it. That helps to balance us out. We can't all be encouraging each other when we start acting delusional. That's how we end up with no self-awareness. Come on, I thought this was a classy party. We're family. Come sit at the table with your dear old YouTube algorithm. Let your mother play you up some gabagoo. You let her know you enjoyed yourself here by giving this video a like. If you couldn't tell, recently I've been hyperfixated on Italian family values. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.